Hi, this is Robert Nicholson, LearningJack.com. We're talking about search engine optimization. For the past few sessions, we've talked about ways to improve your search engine visibility, get placed higher in those search results. Now we're going to talk about using tools to see how well you're doing. Some of our favorite tools that we use on just about every site are Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools. Analytics lets you look at your traffic, see who's coming to your site, what they're looking at, and so forth. And Webmaster Tools gives you information about the site structure. These tools are free. They require a certain amount of work on the part of your webmaster to integrate them, but it's well worth the effort. Bing also has a set of Webmaster Tools similar to Google Webmaster Tools, but we tend to stick with the Google tools because they've got a big set of tools, they're integrated, and they also work well with third-party products. So let's jump right in and take a look at these tools. This is a page from Google Analytics. We're looking at a site called California Mission Guide. And the first thing we see is traffic to the site for a given period of time. We notice that most of the traffic is on Monday through Friday, and it falls off in the summer. That's because most of the visitors to the site are school children and teachers. So this is exactly what we would expect to see. But we can get a little bit more information too. We see that, maybe a quarter of the visitors to the site are returning, 3/4 are there coming for the first time, one time. We can see things like how many pages they typically look at on the site, usually an average of 2.5 pages, how much time they spend on the site, and so forth. We can find out things like what mobile devices they're using. Well, we see we get quite a few users on the Apple iPad or the Apple iPhone, less so on some of the other platforms. We want to find out how they got to the site, and specifically we want to find out what search queries they used. And we can see that we got a lot of queries for Mission San Francisco de Asís. So that's a major search item success story for us. We can see a lot of results if we want to go down below the first 10. Sometimes we get surprises here. We find out people are searching on things and coming to our site that we didn't even think of, and so maybe we add a little more information on that topic. We can also find out specifically what pages people are looking at. So we see which page gets the most traffic, well, our home page, but sites for some of the specific missions get a lot of traffic. We have a fun facts page, and that's real popular with the kids, but we can see what pages are working for us and what pages aren't. As you can see, there's a ton of stuff that we can look at, and that goes well beyond the scope of this course, but Google Analytics is a tool that you're going to want to be very familiar with. Now let's skip over to Webmaster Tools. Why is this important? Well, one of the things that's great about Webmaster Tools is it tells you if you have problems. So in crawling our site, Google apparently found one error, and we can go in and we can look at that error, we can find more information, figure out what we have to do to fix that. I also mentioned a couple of sessions ago that there are some bad neighborhoods, and Google really doesn't want to see you linking to those sites or getting links from them. If you have links from a bad neighborhood, you'll get a message in Webmaster Tools, so it's a good way for you to know if you're seeing any penalties there. And if you do, you can actually go in and tell Google to de-index that, to remove it, so you won't get penalized for it any further. We mentioned a little bit about semantic tagging, and semantic tagging, Google has a tool in Webmaster Tools to let you look at structured data. It also has a data highlighter, which is a very cool way of actually going in and telling Google about structured data that appears on your site. And they've got a little tutorial here that tells you how to use it. Again, Google Webmaster Tools is beyond the scope of this course. It could be a course in itself, but you'll want to at least learn the basics of using this tool. It's very, very, very helpful. Now, Analytics, Webmaster Tools, kind of general purpose tools, but we really want to know how our SEO efforts are going. Where are we appearing in search results? And there are a whole bunch of tool sets that will give us that information. And unfortunately, most of the tool sets, because they incorporate a lot of tools, are commercial. It costs some money to use them. We're actually currently using 3 different tools, the ones that I've marked here with an asterisk. There are a bunch of tools out there, and each of them has advantages and disadvantages. What I would advise you to do, once you have your basic SEO efforts underway, if you want to look into tools and what they can do for you, is do a search for SEO tool comparisons or search engine tool comparisons, and you'll find a lot of comparative information about the strengths and weaknesses of each. Most of them will offer a limited trial where you can't get access to all of the capabilities, or perhaps a 30-day trial so you can give it a try, see which ones you like. Again, the ones with asterisks here, Rage Software, SEO Power Suite, and Moz Pro, are the ones that I use. And just as a very brief example, this is the kind of thing that you're going to get. You're going to get a dashboard that gives you all sorts of information so you can see how you're doing over time. It's going to compare you to your competitors so you can track against them. It's going to tell you how many of your keywords are in those coveted first 10 positions in search results. You could track from week to week so you can see if you're improving or falling behind. For specific keywords, it's going to tell you where you rank in top search engines. This one's Google, but I can configure it to show me Yahoo and Bing. So there's a lot of information that you can get from these tool suites if you're serious about tracking your SEO efforts for the long term. So in conclusion, SEO is a lot of work, but it's really essential. The web has become competitive. You're not just going to show up in search results and get traffic anymore. You have to put some effort into it. And it's really important that you make it an ongoing effort, that you budget time and put in some time every month. And to track your efforts, well, I talked about using analytics and webmaster tools. I talked about some of the commercial tool suites. But here's a little tip. If you don't want to sign up for a commercial tool suite, set up a spreadsheet and every week go in and do your top 5 searches or your top 10 searches and see where you fall in the results. So do that every week and you can track what kind of progress you're making without investing in a commercial tool. SEO requires a certain amount of knowledge, skill, and tools, and it's going to continue to evolve, but hopefully we've given you the basis, the groundwork, so that you can build from here. And the main thing to remember is focus on building a great site with lots of high-quality content and letting people know about it. That's all. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to come to learningjack.com and send us an email.